Good afternoon, everyone. Today I will discuss the different approaches to curriculum designing. Okay, so here we have the types of curriculum design models: the subject centered design, the learner centered design, and the problem centered design. Okay, so the first one is the subject centered design. This is a curriculum design that focuses on the content of the curriculum. So the subject-centered design corresponds mostly to the textbooks because textbooks are usually written based on the specific subject or course. So Henry Morrison and William Harris are the few curricularies who firmly believe in this design. Okay, so as practice, school hours are allocated to different school subjects such as science, mathematics, language, social studies, physical education, and others. So this is also practiced in the Philippines because a school day is divided into class period, a school year into quarters or semester, and then most of the schools using this kind of structure in curriculum design uh, to aim for excellence in the specific subject, discipline, content. So, from the word subject, in in this curriculum, nagfo-focus tayo sa specific subject or sa content ng curriculum, which is the different subjects. Okay? So, subject-centered design, or I mean subject-centered curriculum design, has also some variations which are focused on the individual subject, specific discipline, and a combination of subjects or disciplines which are broad field or interdisciplinary. So the first one is the subject design. This curriculum is the oldest and so far the most familiar design, has an advantage because it is easy to deliver and textbooks are written and support instructional materials are commercially available. So teachers are familiar with the format because they were also educated using the same design. So, in the Philippines educational system, the number of subjects in the elementary education is fewer than in the secondary level, and in college, the number of subjects also differs according to the degree programs being pursued. So for each subject, a curriculum is being designed. So, however, the drawback of this design is that sometimes learning is so compartmentalized. So it stresses so much the content and forgets about students' natural um, tendencies, interests, and experiences. So the teacher becomes the dispenser of knowledge, and the learners are simply the empty vessels to receive the information or content from the teacher. So the subject design is the traditional way of teaching, or ito yung traditional way natin. So the next one is the discipline design. This curriculum design model is related to the subject design. However, while subject design centers only on the cluster of content, discipline design focuses on academic disciplines. So, a discipline refers to specific knowledge learned through a method which the scholars use to study a specific content of their fields. So for example, students in history should learn this subject matter like historians, or students in biology should learn how the biologists learn, and so with the students in mathematics who should learn how mathematicians learn. So in the same manner, teachers should teach how the scholars in the discipline will convey the particular knowledge. So um, discipline design model of curriculum is often used in college. Ayan. So sa college ito, no? But not in the elementary or secondary levels. From the subject-centered curriculum moves higher to a discipline when the students are more mature and are already moving towards their career path or disciplines as science, mathematics, psychology, humanities, history, and others. So, kaya this type of design is usually found or na i-encounter ito sa college. So the next one is the correlation design. Coming from a core, correlated curriculum design links separate subject design in order to reduce fragmentation. So subjects are related to one another and still maintain their identity. Okay. So, for example, English literature and social studies correlate well in the elementary level. So, in two subjects, while history is being studied, uh, different literary pieces, I don't know. Okay, history is being studied. Different literary pieces during the historical period are also being studied. So, the same is true when science becomes the core, uh, and mathematics is related to it. So as they are taken in chemistry, physics, and biology. Another example is literature. So as the core with art, music, history, geography related to it. Okay? To use uh, who use this design, teachers should come together and plan their lessons cooperatively. Okay? So, interconnected ang mga subjects po natin. Kung, for example, may specific part or knowledge na itinuturo sa isang subject and then same din sa isang subject. Ganon din sa isang subject. So, interconnected sila, no? Meron silang relations. Meron silang relation. Okay, the next one is the broad field design or interdisciplinary. Broad field design or interdisciplinary is a variation of the subject-centered design. This design was made to cure the compartmentalization of the separate subjects and integrate the contents that are related to one another. So, subjects such as geography, economics, political science, anthropology, sociology, and history are fused into one subject called social studies. So, language arts will include grammar, literature, linguistics, spelling, and composition. So sometimes it is called holistic curriculum. Broad fields draw around themes and integration. Ayan. So this type of design, the interdisciplinary design, is similar to thematic design where a specific theme is identified and all other subject areas revolve around that theme. So, kumbaga, different subjects are compressed into one. Different subjects compressed into one. So, parang andun na lahat. Magkakasama na sila doon. not only because they're interconnected, but because they have relation, and it is mayroong significance bakit pinagsama-sama sila. So this design, so ayun, that is all about. Okay, then the number 2 is still learner-centered design naman tayo. Kung kanina meron tayong subject-centered design, ngayon meron tayong learner-centered design. So, among progressive educational psychologies, the learner is the center of the educative process. Okay. So this emphasis is very strong in the elementary level, no? However, more concern has been placed on the secondary and even sorry, secondary and even the tertiary levels. So although in high school, the subject or content has become the focus, and in the college level, the discipline is the center. Both levels still recognize the importance of the learner in the curriculum. So kung kanina, nabanggit natin ng additional way, ngayon, dito sa learner-centered design, part na ito ng 21st century education, which is hindi na tayo teacher-centered, student-centered na tayo, or learner-centered, and active na ang pagtuturo, not passive. Okay? So here are some examples of curriculum designs which are learner-centered. So we have the child-centered design, experience-centered design, and humanistic design. Okay, so the first one is the child-centered design. So this design is often attributed to the influence of John Dewey, Ruscio, Pestalozzi, and Froebel. So this curriculum design is anchored on the needs and interests of the child. So the learner is not considered a passive individual, but one who engage with his or her environment. Ayan. So, ang sabi nga nila, one learns by doing, di ba? So learners actively create, construct meanings and understanding as viewed by the constructivists. So I hope you still remember constructivism. So in the child-centered design, learners interact with the teachers and the environment. So thus, there is a collaborative effort on both sides to plan lessons, select content, and do activities together. So learning is a product of the child's interaction with the environment. So the learner have the free will, no? And nakafocus na sa mga learners natin, sa bata. Ayan, hindi na sa teacher. So the next one is the experience-centered design. So this design is similar to the child-centered design, although the focus remains to be the child. Experience-centered design believes that the interests and needs of learners cannot be pre-planned. Instead, experiences of the learners become the starting point of the curriculum. Thus, the school environment is left open and free. So, excuse me. Learners are made to choose from various activities that the teacher provides, and the learners are empowered to shape their own learning from different opportunities given by the teacher. In a school where experience-centered curriculum is provided, different learning centers are found. So time is flexible and children are free to make options. Activities revolve around different emphases such as touching, feeling, imagining, and ano yung isa? Constructing, at saka relating, and others. So, the emergence of multiple intelligence theory blends well with experience-centered design curriculum. So, kung natatandaan nyo pa ang multiple intelligence theory, ayan. Okay, next one is the humanistic design. The key influence in this curriculum design is Abraham Maslow and Carl Rogers. So Maslow's theory of self-actualization explained that a person who achieves this level is accepting of self, others, and nature. So is simple, spontaneous, and natural. Is open to different experiences. Possesses empathy and sympathy towards the less fortunate among the many others. Okay. So, here in humanistic design, the person can achieve this state of self-actualization later in life, but has to start the process while still in school. So, si Carl Rogers, on the other hand, believed that a person can enhance self-directed learning by improving self-understanding. So, the basic attitude to guide behavior. So, believe that a person can enhance self-directed learning by improving self-understanding. No? So, kung naiintindihan mo yung sarili mo, or sa'yo nag-uumpisa yun, mas mapapadali na itong humanistic design. Ayan, wait lang. Ayan na. So, humanistic curriculum design. So, the development of self is the ultimate objective of learning. So, the ultimate objective of learning. So, kumbaga, dito sa humanistic design, nakafocus tayo sa development of self. And it stresses the whole person and the integration of thinking, so feeling and doing as well. It considers the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains to be interconnected and must be addressed in the curriculum. So it stresses the development of positive self-concept and interpersonal skills. Next is the problem-centered design. Generally, problem-centered design draws on social problems, needs, interests, and abilities of the learners. So various problems are given emphasis, and there are those that center on life situations, contemporary life problems, areas of living, and many others. Okay. So, in this curriculum content, cuts across subject boundaries and must be based on the needs, concerns, and abilities of the students. So, two examples are given for the problem-centered design curriculum, no? So, ito yan. Two examples, the life situations design and the core problem design. So the first one is the life situations design. So what makes the design unique is that the contents are organized in ways that allow students to clearly view problem areas. So it uses the past and the present experiences of learners as a means to analyze the basic areas of living. So as a starting point, the pressing immediate problems of the society and the students' existing concerns are utilized. So, based on Herbert Spencer's curriculum writing, his emphasis were activities that sustain life, enhance life, and in rearing children. So, maintain the individual's social and political relations and enhance leisure, tasks, and feelings. So the connection of subject matter to real situations increases the relevance of the curriculum. Okay? Okay. Ayan. So the next one is the core problem design, no? Another example of problem-centered design is core design. So it centers on general education and problems are based on the common human activities. So the central focus of the core design includes common needs, problems, and concerns of the learners. Popularized by Fonts and Bossing in 1959, it presented ways on how to proceed using the core design of a curriculum. Ayan. So these are the steps. These are the steps. So the first one is make group consensus on important problems. Step 2, develop criteria for selection of important problems. Excuse me. Step 3, state and define the problem. And step 4, decide on areas of study including class grouping. And then 5, list the needed information for resources. And step 6, obtain and organize information. Step 7, analyze and interpret the information. Step 8, state the tentative conclusions. And 9, present a report to the class individually or by group. And then evaluate the conclusions. That is the step 10. And last step is explore other avenues for further problem solving. Okay, so here the approaches to curriculum design models. So child or learner-centered approach. Ayan. So this approach to curriculum design is based on the underlying philosophy that the child or the learner is the center of the educational process. It means that the curriculum is constructed based on the needs, interests, purposes, and abilities of the learners. So the curriculum is also built upon the learner's knowledge, skills, previous learnings, and potentials. So the next one is the principles of child-centered curriculum approach. So ayan, no, meron tayong principles of child-centered curriculum approach. So here are the principles. First one, acknowledge and respect the fundamental rights of the child and make all activities revolve around the overall development of the learner. Consider the uniqueness of every learner in a multicultural classroom. Okay? And then consider using differentiated instruction of teaching and then provide a motivating or supportive learning environment for all the learners. So, from the word child-centered curriculum, the principles are focused sa learners mismo. Okay? Next one is the subject-centered approach. So this is anchored on a curriculum design which prescribes separate distinct subjects for every educational level. So basic education, higher education, or vocational technical education. Ayan. So subject-centered approach. This approach considers the following principles. Ayan. First one, the primary focus is the subject matter. Second one, the emphasis is on bits and pieces of information which may be detached from life. And then number 3, the subject matter serves as a means of identifying problems of living. And then learning means accumulation of content or knowledge. And then lastly is teacher's role is to dispense the content. So, nagfo-focus naman ito sa subjects, and the teachers just simply providing the information or the content. Next one is the problem-centered approach. And this is the last one as well. So this approach is based on a design which assumes that in the process of living, children experience problems. So thus, problem solving enables the learners to become increasingly able to achieve complete or total development as individuals. So problem-centered approach. This approach is characterized by the following views and beliefs. Ayan. So the first one, the learners are capable of directing and guiding themselves and resolving problems, thus developing every learner to be independent. Second one, the learners are prepared to assume their civic responsibilities through direct participation and different activities. And number 3, the curriculum leads the learners in the recognition of concerns and problems in seeking solutions. So, learners are problem solvers themselves. Ayan. And dito sa problem-centered, nahasa ang mga bata na mag-solve ng sarili nilang problema, to be more critical thinker. And then a lot of opportunities pa. Okay? So I think that's all for today's reporting, guys. And thank you. Bye.